We are live now?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, we were waiting to see.
I just want to know, we've been playing around with the mic a little bit, trying to figure it all out. So if you show up a little bit early and can let us know that you can hear us and maybe hear us clearly, that will help us know that everything's working. In the meantime, welcome to Lunch with Linda. I'm Linda Daniels, and you are now inside Northampton Wolves. And can you believe that it is October 6th? Don't we love October? And what an October we are having. It is incredibly warm out here, although hopefully it looks like by Wednesday we're going to start to really feel the fall temperatures.
Oh,
Um,
hi Penny. Hi Amanda.
Hi,
Both,
all of you.
both Dales.
Hey, yay, yay, yay. Um, Big surprise, Bonnie is here. She's going to be here in the store on Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday as well. So we're going to put her right to work. Bonnie, I don't know if you're watching today or out playing around, but hi, and we can't wait to have you here in the store. And Eileen and Decker are too busy. They're not going to be here today. So we are counting on everybody else showing up and having some fun. In addition to it being October 6th, I hate to tell you, but there's only 80 days till Christmas. It's like, no, that can't be real, but it is. It's 80 days. And as crafters, whether you knit or crochet, that always sends an alarm bell off. And we're going to try to make your Christmas planning a little bit easier by showcasing some specific ideas and maybe some specific things that you might want to put on your Christmas list for yourself. And
Around the world in 80 days. Isn't that the thing?
yeah, it is exactly it. But how about in and out of your Christmas tree in 80 days?
Something like that.
Anyway, yeah, so if you were planning on making things for Christmas, if you haven't started, the day is today. You absolutely, I think, should think about what you're going to make and how you're going to do it. We still have stuff coming in left and right that is really exciting. And as we move closer into the fall and towards Thanksgiving, we are going to be putting together some kits that will make your shopping and Christmas planning a whole lot easier. We hope that is our goal. So first off, last week I showcased that hedgehog pattern by Midori. Midori is the author of The Ranunculus, and this little hedgehog pattern we all oohed and awed over. And what I found fascinating was that she listed every single weight of yarn and even divided some of those categories into really specific weights of yarn.
Oh, Bonnie is here.
Hey,
And
Bonnie.
Lana and Catherine and Barb.
Hello,
Hi.
everybody. Thanks for joining us. The thing that's interesting is that when you knit the pattern, it's the same number of stitches for every size. And when I showed you that pattern, I ended with saying, you know I'm going to make it. Well, I did. I made it out of the super bulky. This is a skein of the Fiesta and a skein of the
Confetti.
confetti. Confetti comes in multicolors and in solid colors. It is done in the round, so you have to be on double pointed needles. And I stayed on double pointed needles, but right about here, I would change. The next time I make it, I would change to circular needles, but that's only going to work if you are doing the heavier yarns. If you do the fine weight yarns, you'll be fine on double pointed needles or magic loop if you are a magic loop person as well. It's a fun, fast knit. These little bobbles, they look more like bobbles in the pattern. They're actually just a yarn over. You knit one stitch with blue and you yarn over with the multicolor, and you do that 2 times. And then on the 3rd row, you're knitting all of those yarn overs together with the stitch. And all it does is push that stitch out. So you're not really making bobbles. You're not doing anything fancy to create them. It's really a very easy. I'm going to use the B word. It's brioche, but it's not really. So don't get scared by it. It's really fun and simple. I'm going to do a bunch of them because I have a million ends of yarns. But I got this first one done in a night. You can easily
Maybe
do
they're the
the
mama.
bulky weights.
Because
I'll do all the smaller ones and we'll do
we
a
had,
little.
Linda was teaching a little girl how to knit, and her siblings came in, and I asked them to name this hedgehog. And one of them said Daisy, and the other one said Cookie. So this is
Daisy Cookie.
Hello, Daisy Cookie.
That was so
Maybe
fun.
all of their children will be flowers and cookies.
What a great Christmas gift, too. Oh my God, it's so huggable
Oh,
in
right.
this size,
Yes.
but it's also going to be so darn cute
In the oven.
in the smaller sizes as well.
Oh my gosh.
Honest to God, you won't be able to stop at just
I
one.
need to make one in the chenille.
We absolutely have to have one in the chenille. One idea. The other new yarn that we got in this week is from Issager, and Issager is not one of the better known yarn companies around this area. There aren't a lot of yarn stores in the Northeast that really stock a lot of it because I was looking for this, but they did 2 new yarns. And one of them is called Marilyn, but it's spelled differently. And this is, my eyes would work, 80% wool and 20% linen. I told you before that we're seeing a lot of linen show up. This is not the only wool and linen yarn that we have or that's coming in brand new.
Is flax the same as linen?
Flax is another, it's a more European word for linen. And that's where this yarn comes from. It has a really wonderful feel. The linen is small enough so that it just adds a little bit of that linen look to it. And it also shows up differently because of the different way it takes the dye. And we got a lot of colors in. And to go along with it, we got a yarn that is called Issager Soft Fine, but which Kate and I are trying to call alpaca yak. And if you can say alpaca yak a lot, then you win because this is amazing. If you don't like mohair or are allergic to mohair or find mohair itchy, this gives you that mohair look without the mohair shedding or really real fuzz.
It's got silk in there, so
And
alpaca yak silk?
exactly, alpaca yak silk with the wool linen. I think we were trying to say alpaca yak linen, which you can't do.
No.
Alpaca yak
Good thing it's
linen.
silk in it instead.
Exactly. So soft, so scrumptious. So yesterday I took 2 skeins of it and doubled it. So this is one strand of the Marilyn and 1 strand of the soft fine held together, and I did a simple little hat. This is on a size 8 needle and basically 76 stitches.
Ooh,
And I put a little zigzag knit and purl pattern in it.
that's so good.
How's
with
that
your
look?
Brown and red today. That's really
I think
nice.
it goes with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a great little hat. We'll have this pattern on the website by the end of the week. I promise. Promise, promise, promise. But it feels so good. It's warm, but so soft. And that little bit of fuzziness from the soft fine gives it a really nice texture. And this is my bag from Skagway. The colors are immense. Believe it or not, that's Kate's favorite.
Oh my God.
And this is the color that I used. And when you add the soft fine to it, that takes it to that deeper, richer tone. You might at first not think that those 2 colors went together, but they do. This green you can use with the yellow-ish, it's a yellow-ish, or you can use it with the butternut,
Oh, no.
or you can use this as a combination.
Oh, I'm dying.
Yeah,
I love this combo.
that's really
Kate's
great.
pick right there.
And then what? Okay, we have the blues or the blue and gray.
this blue
You put
and
the wrong one
gray.
down.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's very wintry.
Isn't that cool?
That's nice.
Oh, I might make that color for me. I
Ooh.
like that a lot.
Wait, we gotta.
And then there's a darker blue gray.
Ooh, that's nice. You can lighten it up with this blue.
And of
Or you
course,
can darken it with the
you know
black.
what? This is really a green.
Give me that one.
Yeah.
This would be really chic too. Yeah.
And then the really deep green.
Forest green is so popular.
It's such a beautiful color. I mean, this looks black. It's probably even showing on your screen as black, but when you see it in sunlight, it's that really deep forest green that is almost black. And then we have leftovers. Figure out your own combination. They're really, really pretty. Now, I'm calling this affordable luxury because with this fiber content, you would expect this yarn to be fairly expensive. It is not. It's $10 and $11 a skein. So for under $25, if you don't have the needles, under $25, you can make a really luxurious feeling hat. Now, there's plenty of yarn left over. I wrapped up the rest that was left. I wrapped it up doubled. So this ball is getting close to 25 grams. That's half of what it was. That's easily enough for a fitted hat. And this is how much was left after I wrapped it double of the linen. And so my plan was this. I was going to double this, use the two strands, the outside end and the inside end, to do a little bit of ribbing. Probably an inch is what I would get with a size 8 needle, and then do the rest of the hat, a very simple, just stocking net stitch, close fitting hat with that. But that means that there's plenty in one skein of each to do a cowl, a nice fitting cowl, or a nice scarf. Think Sophie, or any of those other Sophie-like scarf patterns out there, something that might be a little bit bigger, but that's going to feel wonderful around your neck. And what a great way to use some of these more exotic fibers without breaking the bank. Affordable luxury. We're all about that this year.
Oh my gosh.
Which brings me to the next new yarn. So when Eileen and I were at the H&H trade show this year, Earth Yarns had a very special yarn that they were offering to shop owners. There's something called Sample It, where each of the companies, if they want to, can feature one of their new items and sell it right then and there to the shop owners. And this is the yarn that Earth Yarns was selling. They called it Rare, that's what the name of it is, because it is going to be a one-of-a-kind thing. They took their 16 fingering, and the 16 is the name of that really, really fine yarn, the highest microns that there are. And we've had both the 16 fingering and the 16 worsted weight in the store, and people have been loving it.
That's the cashmere micron.
Exactly. And they love it. People have loved it. This is what they did with it. They dyed it in these multicolors, and what happens for me is the dye, the way the dye plays out on the yarn, it makes it look a whole lot softer. I feel like when I look at this yarn, it looks a little alpaca-y. It is not. This is 100% merino superwash wool in these absolutely fun and wonderful colors. Now this yarn is a little bit more than a stripe. It's more of a stripe fade. So you get these long bouts of color, because when you look at these skeins, you're not going to be able to tell what happens with it, right? And so when I was supposed to be sleeping, I instead started to knit a very simple garter stitch shawl with this gold color. And when you wind the yarn up, you can see what I mean by a long fade. This is what's left of the first skein. And when you wind it up, you can see what happens is that the colors all fall in place. So you go from this looking like colors all over the place to a section of gold, a section of tan, a section of brown, a section of beige, and that will give you an idea of what your piece will look like. So this brown then faded right into this medium kind of brown, and now it's fading into this gold color, and it will end with the lightest color out there.
They really did a nice transition there.
They do a nice transition. It's a really fun little yarn to knit with. So I'm going to continue on this until I've used up this first skein. What I love about this simple garter stitch is basically you start here with 5 stitches, and then you are knitting into the front and back of the first stitch of every row. And I'm going to write this out as well. And in the center stitch, you are yarn over, knit 1, yarn over of the center stitch. And that way you don't have to worry about whether you're on a right side or wrong side row. Every row begins with knit into the front and back of the first stitch. I like that increase on shawls because it gives you this really clean edge. I started doing this with a slip stitch and it was a mess. I have to say, it just was not laying nice and clean like this. It was a bit of it was too loose. Because it's a fingering weight yarn and I'm on a size 6, or I think it's a 6 needle. So I just couldn't get it tight enough. But knitting into the front and back gives that nice corded edge and makes a really nice increase line. Only if you do it at the beginning of every row. You will not end the row with knit into the front and back. You start the row with knit into the front and back. If you ended the row with knit into the front and back, that purl part of that knit into the back part, it makes what looks like a purl, it sticks out. So what you're really doing is this, up and out, up and out. But by doing it at the beginning of the row, it gives you that knit part that's smooth, and the purl part, the increase stitch, is inside. Tip.
That's cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
So I'll be able to show you this next week, and we can see how far one skein went. And the other thing that I was starting to say was I like doing a simple one like this because this is definitely going to be big enough to use just as a little, what's that called?
Shawlette?
A shawlette. Neither one of us are thinking of the right word. Just a little triangle around your neck. Like a big, that's it, that's the word. A little bandana piece that we'll be able to tie around. So we'll see how far we get with that one. And this is a very soothing pattern. You know, it's something that you can just sit there and knit away. You just pay attention to that center stitch. You do have to see whether or not you've just yarned over and you're ready to knit into the yarn over, or whether you have to yarn over. So that's the only detail of that. Doesn't it feel wonderful? It really does feel super, super nice. So that's a new yarn. And again, these are all the really fun colors. And you know what? Eileen knit herself a whole sweater out of this one, out of this color. Yes, she did. Alrighty. Whoa, all these tags. Anyway, we've got this stuff hanging. You can, and it's not a bad price. It's $22, something like that. And it just feels magical. That new yarn, and guess what? There's new needles in town. How can it be, you may ask? How can there possibly be any other needle creation? But there is. Lykkes are a brand that we've carried because they've always done a wooden or bamboo needle, driftwood, bamboo, and they are now branching out into a stainless steel, and they're calling them flights. So it looks like that. And there's been a lot of buzz in the industry about these needles. It took a while for them to come, and we finally got them in. Now we got a small number of kits in the store, but I've already ordered some of the larger kits. I tested them. That's the other video that we have that's ready to go. And we actually asked one of the customers to try them because I was knitting with them. And she was a very accomplished knitter. She had on an absolutely gorgeous sweater, but she wasn't anybody that I knew. She was kind of a she was a complete stranger.
She was traveling from Michigan.
And she sat down and she knit with them, and she gave us a very honest review. Because when I tried them, I was really impressed. They are stainless steel, and the cord screws into the needle. So that means that all of the Knit Pro, all of the Lykke cords, all of the Knit Pro cords, who else is out there? Not the Chow cords, they won't work. But any cord that has the screw on the cord will fit into there. They are incredibly smooth, incredibly smooth. And what's the biggest deal? All the cords in all of these kits are swivel. Do you know what that means? That means that the cord turns. I'm going to try to do this without a lot of noise.
You can do it with noise. This is the only cord I use.
The joining of the cord turns, and you avoid that loosening of the needle, so they do not come undone.
So it's like the hardware is meant to move instead of
it turns. It turns. This is too small to see. These is too small. But anyway, trust me, because that was the one that the needle that I tested. So they've come out with several different sizes. You're dying to know, I know, what I have in my hand. This is their little mini set. If you are a small needle lover, this is the set for you. And I love that they do these little ones. I don't have my repair box up here, it's downstairs, but I've got one of those, like these little Lykke sets in my repair box because I can use it to pick up stitches, to put on a holder, to hold stitches while I'm repairing them. It's just fantastic. So a little mini set with several cord sizes if you are a mini knit person. Then they made a 3.5 inch set. I think this was the one that I was using.
Yeah, you know, I'm not sure. Remember when we talked to the rep, I think that the minis actually...
The minis don't swivel.
I got a look from the rep and I said, well, figure out how.
Yeah, exactly. Make them small. That's the case in all of them. The cords don't go down that small. But this is the standard set. Let me see. It's a 3.5 inch from size 4 up to size 10.5. It's not a complete set, but it is. I would say that this would cover most of the sizes that most of us are knitting with. And especially if you like making hats, you want this 3.5 inch needle tip. And they are pointy, but incredibly smooth. And then they make another 5 inch mini set. So now you have the 5 inch tips, which are great. And these are kind of in the smaller size range as well. So if you do a lot of shawl work, you will want this. And if you do a lot of shawl work, you want that length of needle because that is going to give you a big space for all those yarn overs and decreases. You need that needle space instead of shoving yarn overs right away down onto the cord. The needle gives you a little more stability with all of that needle. And then, of course, they did a standard set, which, yeah, this is it. So this is size 3 through 10.5. Everything that you need.
Those are the 5 inch. Now, I like the 5 inch for anything bigger than a hat because your hand has, it's like how do I explain it? You would
You
extend
have
your,
more stability in your
it's more in
hand.
your hand, so you're less like sort of curling around the
Hmm.
needle.
That's what I find too. If I'm only using the short tips if I absolutely have to. Like when I travel, I'll take the 3.5 inch tip set with me because it's easy, it's small. But when I knit at home, I need that needle. Now, that support, the needle, the tip of the needle adds support to my hand and puts less stress on my wrist and fingers. Is there a comment or a
No, that's
question?
just.
Okay.
Oh, Giovanna's here and Martha's here.
Hey. So, the other thing that's great, now, if you did a poll, Gu is going to come out at top of the line. And they are a really incredibly well done needle. Right behind me, I have the set of flights.
Forte.
I mean, Forte.
It's both
This
an
is
F
a
word,
flight.
isn't it?
That's a Forte. It's an F word. Okay. From Gu. And that's the top of the line set because you have everything you could possibly need to knit. And it's in a beautiful case. But if you need a set of stainless steel needles, these are going to be workhorse kind of needles, and the price is so darn good. All these kits came in, I think the most expensive kit is just under $160 with tax. So they're really affordable. As you saw, this standard set doesn't have the full, like go up to the 15, but it's got everything you need. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but this part is what we call the swivel part. It turns.
Sort of close.
And that's what we want. We love the swivel cords.
So it's turning on purpose. I'll do a little
Yeah.
demo for you.
Now we took everything apart. I hope we put it all back together
I can do it.
the right way.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, so just another needle in town, another set for you to think about. Personally, I don't think one set is ever enough of anything, but I get to indulge. So think about it. We'll have them here. We have more coming. And what a great gift that you should put on your wish list for this Christmas because you'll love working with them. I will possess one of these myself and have it set up so that when you come in you can try the needles
Ooh,
yourself
what color case are you
because
going to
it will.
get?
I loved this purple.
Yeah.
Love it. I think that's one of the reasons why I said yes to it because it's like another needle set, but that's okay. All right. So have you been watching, if you're on Instagram, have you been watching and celebrating Malabrigo? They've been posting every single day. We are into day number 3 or 4 of the 20 days of Malabrigo, leading up to the big October 25th Malabrigo celebration. We are, Kate and I sat this morning and finalized our posts for these upcoming days, and we'll be sharing all of that stuff with you as well. Take a look at it. They're doing a really beautiful job of showcasing not only their yarns, but the factory and how the yarn is made and processed and how it actually gets into the stores all across the states. So celebrate with us. And if you are knitting on something with Malabrigo, plan on wearing it in on October 25th because we're going to have lots of fun surprises on that day as well. And with that in mind, I wanted to show you that I finally finished the Barnstable shawl. This is the knit-along that they're doing right now, and they do a lot of knit-alongs throughout the year. This is with their Seis Cabos, or Seis Cabos, which is one of their wools. And remember, this is the project that I took on the Alaskan cruise with me, but I didn't realize that I needed 2 skeins of this color. And so I only had one. And when I got up to here, realized that I wasn't going to have enough to get all the way through it. So I put that on a holder. I cast on right here with the turquoise color, and I did the mosaic part of it on the cruise right like
So
that.
you did some magic because you can't be on a cruise and not knit.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Even though it wasn't a sunny, hot cruise that you could sit out on the deck in a lawn chair by the pool, which I wouldn't have done anyway, but anyway. Okay, so I did that part, and then when I got home from the cruise, got another skein of the Seis Cabos and was able to finish the garter stitch part. Now, here's the thing about Malabrigo. They are all dyed, the colors are all dyed together in a kettle, but because of the position of the yarn, you can end up with very different looks. So when you look, it's not that obvious to me now, but when you look at this one, this is the first skein that I used, and then this is where I started the second skein, and there isn't as much blue in the second skein as there, no, yeah, as there was in the first skein. So it really creates a break.
So this is the first skein. We got blue.
And then none, or very little.
It almost looks like a break right there.
That's why when you actually read the tag of any of the Malabrigo yarns, it often will tell you if you want to avoid this, even though you're buying the skeins that came out of the same package and were dyed at the same time, you need to work with two skeins. You do 2 rows with one skein and then 2 rows with the other. And if I had both skeins with me, I would have done that and the colors would have blended. It wasn't until I got home that I realized that they were so very, very different. But overall, I think the shawl still works. It hasn't been blocked because I then had to, when I got back, had to Kitchener these 2 pieces together. And I just finished doing that this morning. Kate and I filmed it. We'll be putting a post up about that as well. So that KAL is winding down. I think it's wrapping up. The actual posts about it. But like any knit along, it goes until you're done. You just keep knitting until you are finished. You knit along. That's a good one too. Okay, I want to send a very special, great, big, huge, I love you shout out to everyone who has helped or sent pom-poms. So we are still collecting pom-poms. Trina, thank you so, so much. Kathy from Connecticut, Jennifer, Liz, she came and sat and made pom-poms. Snowy, Marianne Snow and Brianna both made pom-poms while they were here at work one day. Deb, thank you, thank you, thank you. Bev from Greenfield sent down a bunch of pom-poms with Kate. And oh my gosh, Catherine is definitely the pom-pom winner. She made over 50 pom-poms for us. So that puts us over 100. I think we're very close to 175 pom-poms. We will still take more. Remember, it doesn't matter what they're made out of. It doesn't matter what color they are. We'd like to get as close to 200 by the end of this week, by Saturday. The 17th is when she wanted them by. And what is that? Saturday's like the 10th or 11th, something like that.
They have to be a certain size.
2 inches. Okay. So that's about like that.
17th is next Friday.
Yeah, so we've got some time left, and man, it would be great.
Wait a second. Catherine just commented that she's bringing hers in this week, and she's at 125.
Oh my God, Catherine.
Rest your hands.
Yes, stop. Stop. You should be knitting.
You won already. Don't ruin your hands.
Holy cow.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Catherine.
Amanda's bringing some in too. I saw her post them on Instagram.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And Jennifer too, I think, is bringing some more in. So I think we've got the pom-poms down. Yeah, Catherine, geez. If I was a baker, I'd bake you something, but I'm not. So one more last thing. This is also something that I finished this week. This is the Haruno cardigan. I'm going to turn around so you can see the back of this as well. I am doing this as a class. I didn't write it down, so look at the website if you are interested. What a fun knit this was. Top down, a lot of increasing short rows, and Stocking net stitch, easy part, and then the work comes in at the bottom. And what a gorgeous bottom edge this is. This was a lot of fun to do, and I'm so pleased with how this actually turned out. I did this in the Rambouillet, which I am absolutely in love with. I have to make myself a sweater in this yarn because it is delicious. It's got body, but without being thick and cardboardy. It is just really, really wonderful. So we've got this as a store model. If you're interested in making it, I know there are 3 or 4 people signed up for the class already, so it will definitely go. But check it out and see if it's something that you would like to do too. You need to purchase the pattern on Ravelry if you are. One last thing, I sent an email out yesterday about our fall preview day. It's going to be this Thursday, October 9th from 3 to 7 p.m. It's just basically an open house. Come on in, take a look around. We'll showcase some of the new yarns, have some patterns for free. We're going to do a big door prize drawing, so you'll enter as you come in with some new stuff in the basket for you to win, and we'll have cider and some kind of treat as well. So I hope that I see a lot of you Thursday between 3 and 7 p.m. That's it for us today. We got to get going because our class is showing up, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week and go knit something. Bye-bye.